doing good time-wise, I believe.
There's more cake over here if anybody wants it.
Okay, cake
You're
over
gonna see
there,
it.
all
If you don't
cut
eat
up.
it now, it's gonna be at the happy hour.
Yep, okay. So I think the next couple we're going to call up, friends of ours, obviously, and this gentleman is going to talk about his driving experience.
Oh boy.
And he even went through the trouble of saying that my wife is going to come up here with me and she will learn that I am a better driver than her.
Ooh.
Wow. So I'm not sure I would have done that. And he also mentioned something about domestic violence. So I'm not sure about that. But I'm going to call up this couple. They're going to come and do their thing. So show your appreciation for Jennifer and Tom Stock. Come on.
I'll sit in the passenger seat right here.
Ah.
That wasn't quite the introduction I was looking for.
I told you to say it, so I don't know.
But I do have a little story.
Ah.
I hope the way you said doesn't get me sleeping on the couch tonight.
Yes, we have an extra bed here. Don't
You know, yesterday at the air show, I watched those pilots. They were very damn impressive. I was really impressed. It took me back to my military days a little bit. It took me back a little further than that. But I thought, those guys really know how to drive a plane. Yeah. And I'll bet if I was young, if I'd have put my mind to it, I might have been able to drive a plane like that. Scott did.
Okay, shh, it's his story, stay out of it.
So, I was thinking, how the hell did I learn to drive? And I thought, you know, my mother had a 1947 Pontiac.
Oh, yes.
And she taught my sister how to drive, both of them. And she would take us out on the old country roads from time to time, and she would get us to drive. Usually my oldest sister first, right?
Right.
And then my second oldest sister, right?
Really young sister.
She was Mama's favorite, but don't tell Mama that. But she would take us out to drive, and she taught me how to use the clutch. She taught me how to shift that 3-speed on the tree. She taught me how to use a brake, gas pedal, turn on the lights, push that starter button on the floor. You all been there, right? But she never taught me how to drive. I taught me how to drive. I did. I taught me how to drive. I didn't get my license till I was 17 and a half, right?
That is absolutely right, but he tried before.
I was 17 and a half when I got my driver's license, and I remember my first night. Mama gave me her car. And I took it down to the drive-in, and I ordered me a Coke. And I had a car full. And I got ready to leave. Bam! Right into the back of a light post. But I'm a damn good driver. I am a damn good driver. I went into the service at 19 years of age. Just a few weeks prior to my 19th birthday. I had accumulated 13 moving violations. Back then, the cops profiled. Yeah, they profiled. I think God still does. But I'm a damn good driver. I learned from experience. The rest of it was accidental. But I got to tell you, That air show yesterday, I watched those pilots. I went back to my Army days, and I thought, Army let me drive? They let me drive a deuce-and-a-half truck on the Autobahn in Germany. So much for military intelligence. But I saw that, was it a C-5 that landed less than 1,000 feet? Was that a C-5 or was that another?
C-17.
A what?
17, C-17.
Okay, C-17. You all saw it. It came down on the runway, stopped in less than 1,000 feet. And that was impressive. That big an airplane, that damn thing is huge, and it stopped in less than 1,000 feet. And then it backed up. I says, wait a minute. Nobody's out there looking for a police motorcycle. So, later on in life, there's been a few other things I've learned too. Driving hasn't improved. But I learned my wife can pull the trailer. Not by herself, she uses a truck. But she's my eyes, my ears, and my watchdog stuff.
And what else?
Set of eyes.
Yeah.
Second set of eyes.
So that's about all I have to say about that. I was really impressed with that plane back. Thanks, Jack. I am a damn good driver. Oh, I wanted to mention one other thing. If I wasn't such a damn good driver, if I was not such a damn good driver, why in the hell are Mike and Donnie sitting in my truck going to Wings on Tuesday night? Maybe after my story, you'll double tough down.
You do take the scenic route home.
Never scenic route home. Then he asks you where we are. Where are we?
Thank you, guys. That's a good story. I must say, I have a wife here that's a heck of a good navigator as well.
Yeah.
And Ray just keeps it between the lines and works
right.
100%. But if she ever sent me out to come down here alone, I'd probably end up somewhere around Fairbanks. Okay. We've got a delightful couple coming on next, and they're certainly one of our favorites. They've worked so hard for us, and when we mention that, you all know who I'm talking about. They arrange outings for us and so on. He's former military. He drove those great big things that back up or thereabouts and all that. And we're going to talk a little bit about overseas and the experience they had in working and educating themselves in Okinawa. I hope I said the right pronunciation. So how about put your hands together and welcome Scott and Janet. How many T's? That's what I had right here. I can't understand.
One is not enough, two is just right, three is definitely too many. Remember that, Jim.
When you bring that up, I've got to tell Kathy's favorite joke. She says, when you drink gin and tonics, martinis, that's what it says.
You screwed it up,
One
Ray.
is not enough, and well, they're like a woman's breast, pardon me. Martinis are like a woman's breast. If you have one, that's not enough. Three is too many.
Okay. Evening, everybody, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, but hard act to follow.
Right.
Jerry, great job. Nobody should have to follow what Donnie just did.
I have to.
3 martinis.
So, Jim and I talked about the things that we might say that would be an entertaining story, and we kind of went all around the planet here, thinking of the things that we've done. And after the conversation, the thing that we realized was we remembered everything differently. We decided that we needed to tell a story from both perspectives. So we're going to just give you a little bit about our overseas experience back in 1981 when we lived in Okinawa for a few years. So in 1978, we got married and started our journey together. I was assigned at the Air Force Academy as a parachute pilot, and I was flying for the parachute programs. And Janet's first 3 years as an Air Force wife was not very typical. She did not have a good understanding of what Air Force life was like. Living in Colorado Springs, having a regular, 45, 50-hour week was what she thought the Air Force was like. But we found out we were leaving the Air Force Academy. We were either going to go to Abilene, Texas, or Altus, Oklahoma. And I'm really excited about either of those. We were looking at all of our options and even considering going outside the Air Force and doing some commercial flying. And then I got word one day there was an opening in Okinawa, Kadena Air Force Base, where they flew tankers, which was something I had done before. So that was something that I could volunteer for. I was pretty sure I was going to get it because there weren't a lot of people volunteering for that. But to me, it sounded kind of neat. So I went home, we talked about it, and we had a long conversation and decided together.
Your side of the story.
This going overseas thing was going to be exciting, a professional opportunity, and a chance to see the world and all of that stuff. Right?
Yes, dear, yes, but we had a 4-month-old, and the next week, I found out that breastfeeding is not a contraceptive. So, I was pregnant again for crying out. We're going to go halfway across the world. We out to here with a baby. I cried a lot.
We'd already accepted the assignment, so it wasn't like I had choices at this point. And it's true that it was kind of outside our comfort zone, traveling across the world where we didn't speak the language or read the language, understand anything about Japanese culture. But we still were optimistic that it was going to be a great experience. So our friends Deb and Dan Campbell, who you all know, we met them our very first day in Okinawa. Dan met us at the civilian airport in Naha, Okinawa, and picked us up, the 3 of us, 3 and a half, and took us to their house. Deb fed us, and then they took us down to the Hilton, to the nicest hotel on the island where we were spending the night.
But yes, we had to stay in that hotel for 6 weeks because there was no available housing on base or off base.
Wow.
But it was a nice hotel.
6 weeks.
And eventually, we found an off-base house that was a few miles away from the Air Force Base, just up the hill from an Army station, where it was a great little bungalow that had a beautiful sunset ocean view looking out to the west.
Yes, but 600 square feet of concrete, no heat, water every other day, a phone that worked sometimes. And it took 3 months before we could get housing on base.
Yeah, it was a little bit like dry camping. But we did get a house on base. And once again, we had a beautiful view of the ocean and the sunset, and a great place to live. It was actually a new duplex on Camp Lester, the Navy hospital.
Yes.
But
I didn't know anybody except for a couple of people on the crew. Deb Campbell gave me a baby shower with a room of 20 ladies, of which I opened a present and they raised their hands.
Why did they do that?
She didn't
I didn't
Oh,
Didn't know that, man.
Oh, didn't know anybody, okay.
But after we got on base, we got to meet a lot of great people, made a lot of great friends. And,
Yes, but.
What a
But I
charmer.
had friends around because Scott was gone a lot.
yeah, it was part of the job. I was in a squadron where we were refueling in different parts of the Pacific, so we operated from a lot of different locations, and it was the first year I was gone a lot.
Yes, but 1 out of every 4 weeks, he was in an alert facility, so I was home with 2 babies.
Yeah, we did have to pull alert boost back when we still had the Cold War going on, and the Russians were still out there needing to be checked. So we had people on alert. We had to have at least 3 airplanes off the ground within 5 minutes of any attack warning. So I did spend a lot of time out there. But at least I was not on alert when you went into labor.
Oh,